been to, which for me filled me with happiness and dread, because you think he's going to be a guest, brilliant, but actually if you meet him in that sort of environment, is it going to be a very rushed experience? Are you going to get an autograph and he says hi and then you're gone, or are you actually going to get a chance to talk to him properly? And that was my real fear, because I thought I don't want that experience to be rushed or flustered or not what I want it to be. Which also caused me a bit of a dilemma, because I thought, actually, what do you wear to meet David Tennant? And the initial reaction was, I thought, I'll go dressed as a 10th Doctor, obviously, because it's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And then I suddenly thought, but no, because I also knew that the world and his mother were also going to be dressed as the 10th Doctor, and it didn't matter if they were lookalikes or looked like him, or even basically anyone who could find a suit and a tie was going to find a suit and a tie, and a pair of Converse. So I thought, okay, what can I do to stand out? And this is where the Benedict costume from Much Ado About Nothing came from. Because I thought, actually, it will be unique, because I don't know of anyone else who is willing to walk around an event wearing
covered in paint,
shorts and a t-shirt, and being unrecognisable to anyone. So I thought, so on the Saturday I did the Benedict outfit and thought, oh, what do I do on the Sunday? What do I do on the Sunday? And the outfit went down really well, and all the event staff were saying, wear it on Sunday, he'll love it, it'll amuse him greatly. So the Sunday came, and I thought, right, let's go for it. So I was covered in paint and the hair was all messed up, and I looked completely different to how I normally do. And then there was that moment where you sort of walk up to him, and when he clapped eyes at me, he just had this big beaming grin and just nodded. And he just goes, of all the outfits I expect to see today, that was not it. And he just said, it's just completely unique. And he was genuinely really, really, really impressed. And it was quite nice, because we actually managed to get a good couple of minute conversation, which one of my friends actually caught on video for me.
Oh,
so on my Facebook page there is actually a video of the whole meeting, which is also quite good, because one of the David Tennant forums has picked up on it and reposted it, so it's floating around the web at the moment.
So are you getting any appearance work out of it?
You never know, it might happen, because obviously it links back to the Facebook page, and that's got all me.
Well, you're famous now, you've been on it. We'll listen to, God, at least 100 yards away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
but,
maybe 150 on a good day.
But it was such a good experience, because what I'd also got with me, because if you ever do go to a signing event and meet someone who is famous, my best piece of advice would be, think about what you want to say to them before you get there. Don't just turn up and go, hi, how are you? Because at least if you've got a couple of talking points. So for me, it was the outfit I was wearing was definitely one, and also one of my friends in New Zealand does hand-drawn pictures of various celebrities and then posts them to me to get them signed for them at events. And he'd done one of David Tennant, and also done another one of me and David Tennant standing back to back.
Yes, you showed me that. That's quite spooky. That.
So it was very surreal. So obviously I then got to show him the pictures, and he was saying, "Oh, they're really good," and asking me about those. So that's actually how you managed to have a proper conversation. And then his assistant also recognised me from another event and said, "Oh, you dress as the 10th Doctor normally, and you were at Milton Keynes." I went, "Oh yeah." So I ended up having to get my mobile phone out to show David some of the pictures of me as him, which was a very surreal experience.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Hi, this is me dressed as you. What do you think? He's going, it's really good.
Stalker! Yeah.
But it was such a nice experience. And then obviously we had a photo shoot later on. He's going, oh, hello again, because it's that sort of, you can't forget someone who's covered in white paint.
Well, no, obviously.
And what I hadn't expected is later on in the day, I went to see Georgia Moffat, who is David Tennant's partner. And as I walked up to her, she just grinned at me. She goes, "I've heard all about you." And I sort of looked at her and thought, "Okay." And she said, "Oh, he's been talking about you because you stood out so much and so memorable." I was going, "Okay, so Georgia Moffat heard about me from Tennant himself." At which point I had a little bit of a fanboy moment, and Lofty didn't speak properly. There you go. I didn't expect that. So, but no, that was a truly unrepeatable experience, and actually it was a credit to the guys at Showmasters for actually letting people have that proper interaction and not sort of rushing them through or making it and actually making it a proper experience rather than they scribble on a bit of paper and it's all over. So it was really, really well handled. So it was brilliant, basically.
Well, I think you've carved out a little niche for yourself, really, and unlike a lot of, I don't think a lot of lookalikes actually meet the people that they look like.
No,
I don't think it's not like you said about the Patrick Stewart one.
Yeah, because there's a guy who is
too scary.
Yeah, there's a guy who's a Patrick Stewart lookalike, and he actually sounds like him as well. And from what I've heard, Patrick Stewart actually refused to have a photo of him because he was so freaked out by it. He said, no, it's not right. But no, so for me to meet David Tennant was a proper dream come true, because he's an icon of mine. So
he's a very fine actor.
Yeah.
In whatever he does, I think. What was that film he did where he was a driving instructor?
Instructor.
Yeah, it's about 10 years ago now, I think. I just can't remember what it was called.
LA Without a Map?
No. It was set in this country.
Actually, no, that was a series, wasn't it?
Was it a series?
Yes, it wasn't a film.
Oh, sorry. Where did I get that one from?
I don't know, but my brain's just gone to goo.
I'm going to look into that one as soon as we get off the air, actually, because that's doing my head in there. Because I'm driving instructor as well, actually. I should know, but yes. It doesn't work like that. I mean, my brain just goes completely to scrambled egg when I walk in the studio. But
I can honestly say that David Tennant is one of the genuinely nicest people I've ever met, and it was such a real pleasure to be able to sort of sit and chat to him and actually have a proper conversation and shake his hand and meet him properly.
And it's nice to know you have his endorsement, really.
Yeah,
that's quite something else too.
Because that was the other thing I thought. Well, what's his reaction going to be? Because like you say, actually, at an event, if everyone's dressed as a 10th Doctor, do you just blend in the background, or do you do something a bit outlandish, like go as Benedict covered in paint? I thought, what on earth is he going to think?
Well, I think he took a bit of a leap of faith there, and it paid off.
And actually, he's a fan himself, because he grew up watching like Doctor Who, and he's a self-confessed geek as well. So actually, that for me was absolutely brilliant.
We've been talking to Matt Holden, who is uncannily looking like David Tennant here at FXR Radio. We're going to be out of the studio in about 14 minutes' time. Chris Tyler is going to take you through the rest of the afternoon up to drive time with Matt and with Anne and
Nigel.
Nigel.
Yeah.
Nigel's here today.
Well, I think so. I'm certain. Yeah, I'm pretty certain he is.
Because she just has this.
Got that on video.
As the studio falls apart around us.
The knob fell off. Oh dear. When does that ever happen?
It probably should never happen. And again, this conversation could go downhill really quickly.
It could go down really, really quick. It's a good job we're out of there in a few minutes' time. At this point, I'd normally play some music, but I'll carry on with what I was saying. Chris Tyler to see you through the rest of the afternoon, and with drive time and whatever toy boy she manages to drag into the studio this afternoon. No, she's disappeared for the moment, so she's not giving you daggers from the other side of the glass. And we're going to carry on with this one from Gilbert O'Sullivan. Well,